Hello, and welcome to episode 1 of this docu-series about Stony Stratford town. In this episode, we're going to be talking about the last 4 years of Stony Stratford, their ground, and how the current season is going. But before we get into it, I'd really appreciate if you could like and subscribe, as we're trying to hit 250 subscribers before the end of 2025. Before we jump into history, let's talk about the ground. The club at Oxford Lane in Stony Stratford. It's a very basic ground, with only one bit of covering. It has only 8 seats in that bit of covering, with the majority being standing. It has uncovered standing all around the pitch. It doesn't have turnstiles, but it does have floodlights, which were erected in 1996, and for the first time they were switched on in November 1996 for a sellout crowd against Aston Villa under-21s. Speaking of capacity, the ground can fit just 500 people, which, considering most home games don't average more than 75 people, there's plenty of room still in the ground, which you'll get to see. The cost of entry is very affordable, with just being £3 for an adult and free for anyone under the age of 16, which I think is very good value for some of the football you get to see. In the leagues that Stony play in, you could see Newport Pagnell development, Irish development, New Brother St Peter. These are all very good footballing sides, MK College as well. Very good footballing sides that you'll get to see for just £3. Before we talk about the history of the club, I'd like to say a big thank you to all the senior staff over at Stony Stratford Town FC for facilitating me making this docu-series, as this is just episode 1. And a special thank you for Dan for allowing me access to film his team, training, getting in the dressing room as well. Stony Stratford Town were formed in 1898. The club won Division 1 at the Buckingham District League in 1898-99 season, and played in the Berks and Bucks Cup competitions. After World War II, the club won Division 2 of the North Buxton District Football League in 1946-47. After the Second World War, the club moved to the South Midlands League in Division 1 and gained promotion to the Premier League. The club's success continued after the Second World War, winning Division 2 of the North Buxton District Football League in the 1946-47 competition. In 1952-53, the club changed the name from Stony Stratford Town and returned to the North Buxton District League, because they were called Stony Stratford Sports at one point. In the 1966-1 season, the club rejoined the South Midlands League, finishing runners-up at the first attempt and gained promotion to Premier Division. They spent the next 13 years in the Premier Division, finishing as runners-up 3 times in a row in 71, 72 and 73. The club faced further relegation in the Premier Division of the North Buxton District Football League for the 1978 campaign. In 1997, the club was placed in the senior division of Spartan South Midland Football League. The club left the Spartan South Midland League in 2016, rejoined the North Bucks and District League in the second intermediate division. They stayed in the intermediate division for 3 seasons before the demise of the senior team in 2018. Following the restart of grassroots football after COVID, which would be the 2020-21 season, they registered a young development team in the North Bucks and District League 4th tier, which was Division 2 at the time. The club claimed a League and Cup double in 2021-22 and won the Premier Division on the goal difference against Great Horwood, and the Interdivisional Trophy in 2022-23. After that season, they applied to play in the Spartan South Midland League system, and they were accepted into Division 2, which is where they currently are now. We're going to start in the 2021-22 season. This season, Stony are playing in the North Buxton District League Division 1, which is the 3rd tier of the North Buxton District League system. This season, they won the league, picked up 45 points from just 20 games, just 2 points better than second place Buckingham United reserves. They lost 3 games all season, with the biggest loss being when the club travelled to Milton Keynes Pavilion to play Willem reserves and lost 2-0, which is for the record loss is very good. Although their biggest win definitely made up for it, 18-0. They beat Pottersbury reserves 18-0. That was at home in the first round of the Division 1 Knockout Cup. Speaking of cups, Stony lost in the second round of the Interdivisional Trophy, 4-2 at home to Pottersbury United firsts. But in the Division 1 Challenge Trophy, they made it to the final, which was played at Buckingham Athletics Sports and Social Club. And after one draw, Stony Stratford beat Olney reserves 4-3 on penalties, clinching the league and cup double. They did have a player in the podium place for goal scoring, young striker Dan Woolley. He scored 18 goals in 14 games for the club. He was 6 goals ahead of Simon King of Buckingham United reserves, who scored 24 in 20 games. Dan Woolley is still at Stony Stratford now and is a very key part of their squad. He's, I think, the league's 3rd top goal scorer. Very good striker. In 2022-23, Stony Stratford, with a very small squad, won the league again, finishing on 37 points, level with second place Great Horwood. Unfortunately, Stony had scored far more goals this season, with Great Horwood needing to score 11 more goals than the young side. It's important to know that all the teams Stony registered up until kind of the last 2 seasons have been like average age under 23 kind of. They won 11 times out of the 18 games they played, the biggest win coming against intermediate division side Stratford United in the interdivisional knockout trophy. Stony ran out 12-0 winners at home of just being 3-0 at half time. It's amazing how this team is of how just to blow teams away. Like, it's not very often teams win 5-0, 6-0, but to win in 2 seasons 18-0, 12-0, and there was other close ones like 8-0, 9-0. It's just... and you'll see later in the video what I mean by just blowing teams away. They lost 3 times this season, the biggest loss coming against third place Hale Leeds in the Premier Division Cup quarter final. The final score of that game was only 3-0, one of the few games that Stony didn't score in. In the other cup competition, the Interdivisional Knockout Cup, Stony reached the final to play Hale Leeds at Buckingham Athletic Sports and Social Club again. But, yet again, Stony failed to win the cup and won 3-1, bringing home their second league and cup double in 2 seasons. This season they had another player in the podium places for goal scoring list. Dan Woolley came first, winning the Golden Boot for the season, with 25 goals and 24 appearances. It's just ridiculous numbers, especially considering how young he is and at this level. The numbers he has put up in the last 2 seasons have been just impeccable, to be honest, and even now they're ridiculous. I've seen a lot of Saturday and Sunday football, but I've never seen a player put up ridiculous numbers like this. I've seen players put up 15 goals in 20 games, but not 25 in 24. And to be honest, it's surprising he never got poached to go and play like Spartan South Midland at this point, let alone now where he could probably not walk into a Spartan South Midland Premier side, but get a lot of game time. After they won the league and cup double, Stony Stratford applied to play in the Spartan South Midland League system, and it was agreed for the 2023-24 season they'd be members of Division 2. They joined other Milton Keynes based sides such as Old Bradwell United, New Bradwell St Peter, MK Arch Reserves, New Port Pagnell Development and MK College Academy. They had a very slow start to life, only winning 2 of the opening 17 games. I actually went to go see one of those 17 games. I actually got to see one of the wins where they beat the 6-1 FC 5-3 at home. But I've also seen them lose to Tring Corinthians during that 17 game. But after a late season surge, they managed to finish 11th in the table on 14 points, just 1 away from the 2 sides neighbouring them. They lost 14 games this season, with the biggest loss coming to Codicott when 67 people at the John Clements Memorial Ground saw Stony lose 5-0. They also won 14 games this season, with the biggest win was when 10th place Tordenhoe came to visit Osters Lane, which is home ground, and lost 6-1 with 66 people at the game. In the cup, Stony Stratford faced off at home to mid-table Amesbury United. And after 1-1 draw, it went to penalties, but unfortunately the St Neots based side showed more bottle and won 4-2 on penalties. In the Gladbridge Challenge Trophy, Premier Division side London Lions made the hour-long trip to Osters Lane and left with a ticket to the next round after beating Stony 4-1 in front of just 47 people. It's understandable. London Lions don't really bring fans anywhere. It's just such... I think they're in the wrong league, to be honest. They're so far away from everyone else. The club's top goal scorer this season was not on the podium places, and it also wasn't Dan Woolley. It was another long-time player, Sam Odiniran, who scored 22 goals in 34 games, which, considering they were struggling for 17 games, is mental numbers. Which has made it even more impressive considering the form Stony got at the start of the season. As of writing, Stony Stratford Town are currently sitting very comfortably in 7th, with 34 points from the 21 games they've played so far, and they're 21 points from top spot held by New Bradwell St Peter and 30 points away from the bottom, so they're very comfortably mid-table. They've won 11 games this season, with the biggest win being a game I actually went to go and see. I walked 2.5 hours to Osters Lane to watch the opening game of the season, and Dan Girling's side won 8-0, beating 6-1 FC with just 47 people coming out on a very warm August day. I remember sweating on that walk a lot. It was a treacherous walk. The biggest loss this season has come at home to the Division 1 side Langford in the Gladbridge Challenge Trophy, with 72 people came out to see Langford win 6-0. Speaking of cups, in the Berks and Bucks Challenge Trophy, in the first round, knocked out 5-1 by league strugglers Old Bradwell United. 5-1 away in the Division 2 Cup as well. They also lost 2-1 away to Trin Corinthians, which was in the Division 2 Cup, as 25 people went to go watch the first round tie at Icknield Way, which is the home of Trin Corinthians. This season, Dan Woolley returned to his fine goal scoring form, as this season he scored 24 goals in just 18 games. I think he is suspended for a few games now. This puts him second on the goal scoring chart, with the top goal scorer being Newbell St Peter's striker Luke Burrows, who scored 39 goals in 28 games. This season on course to be Stony Stratford's best ever finish for the last 16 years, when they came fourth in the Spartan South Midland League Division 1, 16 years ago. This season's looking very good for them though. I think Stony will continue to be a solid mid-table side in Division 2. They're unable to get promoted because I don't think Osselzane actually meets ground grading for Division 1. I'm not sure, but I don't think many things would need improving if there was on. I think it'd just be LED floodlights and more seats. I think it's just seats that are the problem. Seats and coverings are the problem. I imagine by 2030 they would upgrade their ground enough to get promoted, but they wouldn't have achieved it yet. For as long as they can keep assets like Dan Woolley, they'll always kind of be okay. I don't think they're going to fall off into the North Buxton District League again. And they should aim for upper mid-table, because considering they were playing in the North Buxton District League just 3 years ago, it's remarkable they aren't in the bottom 5 every season. Football is all about results though, and for as long as they don't keep pushing up the table, attendance will just increase. They're already getting 75 people, and I think if they can cultivate that area of Milton Keynes, because a few like Wolverton, Stony, that kind of area, they can cultivate that kind of area by doing a bit of community work. Be looking good for them. Their average is currently around 70 people per game, but in a few years, if they sustain their league position, I can see them getting around 100, 110 people a game, putting up Bovingdon kind of numbers. Good numbers, getting an audience, you know what I mean? Getting a proper community club. And they'll, assume by that point, they'll be the 4th best supported team in Milton Keynes, for ignoring development side. So, yeah, I really just think they just need to keep doing what they're doing. What they're doing is perfect. They're getting up the league table, coming from Saturday football up into actual non-league. And for as long as they just keep winning games, keep pushing, the attendance numbers will rise and they'll progress as a club. But yeah, on that note, thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed episode 1. The next episode will be a bit of training as well before the match day experience. Stony Stratford travel away to Pitstone and Ivinghoe, which I'll be recording the game. So you'll get the highlights, training, interviews with managers and players. You'll get all of it. So yeah, make sure you like, comment, share and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Peace.